When Batman Ninja was released back in 2018, it was assumed that the American-Japanese animated film was a one-off, but the director Junpei Mizusaki has returned with a sequel after the decent response to this unique concept. The newly released Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League continues the fun and bizarre storytelling, and the DC universe has once again been turned upside down for a memorable fan experience. In this video, we will delve into the detailed timeline of the entire Batman Ninja universe and bring you the complete narrative of both the movies. There might be a few spoilers of the recent release, so you've been warned.
Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
How does Batman Ninja introduce us to this whole new world? What makes Batman and his enemies end up in feudal Japan? It's not often that someone comes up with the idea that the Dark Knight and his familiar friends and foes can be introduced in a feudal Japan setup. Thus, when the concept of Batman Ninja was introduced back in 2018, it came as a massive surprise for the fans. Not everyone was on the same page regarding the effectiveness of the plot, but we'll leave you to be the judge of that. The story picks up from a usual Batman movie setup, where the Caped Crusader is busy fighting Gorilla Grodd at Arkham Asylum. All of a sudden, Batman is caught up in Grodd's Quake Engine time displacement machine, and he's transported to feudal Japan. Here, it's a whole new world for Batman in the literal sense of the term, and he's welcomed by a group of Ashigaru samurai soldiers who work for the Joker and chase him down. While escaping, Batman comes across Catwoman, who gives him a fair idea of what's actually happened. It turns out that Batman is the last one to arrive, and everyone else from Gotham City has been here 2 years earlier. This is because Batman was in the outermost area when he was affected by the Quake Engine. Now, all the infamous criminals of Gotham City have become ruthless feudal lords, and the Sengoku Daimyo has been deceived. The evil forces now battle each other for supremacy, and Batman has quite a task at hand, as he must prevent these villains from changing the course of history. He has to find a way to get to the Quake Engine in Arkham Castle, which used to be Arkham Asylum back in his world, and he has the support of Catwoman to count on too. Soon, he also learns about the existence of Alfred Pennyworth, who's also in this past timeline, and he has built a Batcave as well. Joker's forces find out about the hideout and launch an ambush, but the Dark Knight is able to storm his way in his Batmobile towards Arkham Castle. In another bizarre move, the castle transforms into a robotic fortress. Batman confronts the Joker in what is easily one of their weirdest face-offs, but his mission is disrupted when Batman has to save a mother and her child from being crushed under the robot's hands. As luck would have it, the woman he saves turns out to be Harley Quinn in disguise. The Dark Knight does manage to defeat Bane and stops the robot hand, but he finds himself surrounded by the minions of the Joker. In this perilous situation, he finds an unexpected reprieve, as ninja-led Elan of the Bat Clan of Hida takes him away from the dangers. He then learns about the Bat Clan that earlier helped the likes of Robin, Nightwing, Red Robin, and Red Hood when they arrived in this world. There has been a prophecy that drives the Bat Clan, and this prophecy dictates that a foreign Bat Ninja will eventually restore order to the land. By now, we all know that Batman is slated to be the savior, but how he goes about this task remains to be seen. Robin gets Batman an invitation from Grodd and heads out to a nearby hot spring, where Grodd explains how he had always intended to send the villains away and keep Gotham for himself. Unfortunately, his exact plan failed because of the interference of Batman, and they all got transported to feudal Japan. Under such peculiar circumstances, both Batman and Grodd agree to work together so that they can figure out a way to return to Gotham. Now, Batman, Grodd, the Bat Family, Bat Clan, and Catwoman all fight the Joker and his forces. Joker and Harley Quinn are defeated, but Grodd shows his true colors when he turns on Batman. It's revealed that he was allied with Two-Face, and going back to Gotham for Batman might be easier said than done. Joker and Harley Quinn use this time to escape, and they even blow up their own ship, taking down Batman alongside them. Meanwhile, Catwoman, who has managed to capture a power converter from Harley, tries to strike a deal with Grodd so that she can go back to Gotham, but they require the other power converters that are with the villains like the Penguin, Deathstroke, and Poison Ivy. Only then can the Quake Engine be completed, and before that, there's no chance of getting back to Gotham in the original timeline. On the other hand, when Batman recovers from his injuries sustained during his earlier fight, he decides to learn the ways of the ninja in order to defeat Grodd, and even encourages the Bat Family to do the same. Joker and Harley have not been as lucky as Batman when it comes to the recovery. The early explosion made them lose their memories, and they're now living as farmers, which is discovered when Red Hood finally locates them. Almost a month later, the villains prepare for the battle at the Field of Hell, and the robots from the castle are mobilized. Even Batman is ready to face them, along with all the Bat family and Bat Clan. Meanwhile, Grodd has plans of his own, as he intends to defeat the other villains and rule Japan all by himself. His plans are foiled by Joker and Harley, who intervene and reclaim their castle from Grodd. Then comes one of the most unbelievable sequences of the movie, where multiple castles are merged together into the super robot Lord Joker, as the Bat family barely manages to save Catwoman and Grodd. By now, Grodd realizes the seriousness of their problems, and since he's also injured from the attack by Joker and Harley, he hands over the control of his army of monkeys to Batman. With the help of Robin, the Dark Knight is able to merge them all into one gigantic samurai monkey, who then fuses with a swarm of bats to turn into the Bat God. We also get to know the secret of how Joker and Harley got their memories back, and the Joker tells Batman how he planted special flowers as a farmer that help them regain their original selves. The fight intensifies, the castle falls, and it's finally left to Batman and Joker to settle the score. They engage in a final duel, as a nail-biting sword fight follows. Batman shows his ninjutsu skills that he's picked up from his ninja training, and the Joker is eventually defeated. The Bat Clan works to restore the condition of feudal Japan, and the Bat family return the long line of villains to the present day. There's a small mid-credits scene as well, where Catwoman can be seen selling weapons and furniture from the castle robots to an antique store, and Bruce can be observed riding a horse-driven Batmobile to the mayor's party. Batman Ninja shows that messy can also be entertaining. This is easily going to be one of the strangest cinematic experiences that you'll have, but we strongly recommend not judging things by the sound of it. The story might sound bizarre, and it really is, but that doesn't make it any less entertaining. The animation quality is decent, which brings you some brilliant visuals, especially during the fight scenes. The artwork is not necessarily backed up with a plot that makes sense, but it works if you don't take things too seriously. One of the interesting things about the making of this film is how the fight scenes were shot. Live actors were filmed for the fight sequences, and then the animation was created using this footage, which makes it all look very realistic. The movie relies heavily on the action sequences, and we don't really mind the almost comedic take on Batman from an entirely different cultural standpoint. If you don't mind the fusion of styles, you will certainly enjoy Batman Ninja. And now, it's time to head into the details of the sequel that's just been released.
Is that really Japan?
Floating directly over Gotham.
Complete story of Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League, ending explained. It would be extremely debatable to suggest that the DC multiverse game is slightly more creative than Marvel, but that's precisely what the Batman Ninja universe tries to prove. The storytelling and characterization is nothing like what you've seen before, and this liberating venture deserves your appreciation even if you don't take a liking to the bizarre narrative. The events of Batman Ninja vs. Yakuza League are premised just a day following the events of Batman Ninja. The Bat family has managed to return to Gotham using the same Quake Engine of Gorilla Grodd that got them there in the first place. Things seem to be normal until the most unexpected event rattles their lives. This strange phenomenon involves a Yakuza hurricane that hits the city, and hundreds of Yakuza descend from the skies to launch the most surprise attack in history. Batman and his allies like Robin, Nightwing, and the others apprehend the Yakuza fighters, but there's clearly more trouble in paradise when they realize that the Justice League is also missing in action. To add to the woes, Japan and its lands are not found on the world map, and something seems to have gone terribly wrong. Gordon informs Batman about a similar Yakuza invasion the previous day as well, and it was the Bat family that handled the situation. But since they weren't even present the previous day, Batman is quick to understand that their past versions must have got the job done along with the Justice League. Something went wrong during the use of the Quake Engine, and a disruption in the space-time continuum has caused everyone to go missing. Even this was not weird enough for a situation. Batman and the Bat family also see the entire country of Japan floating above Gotham, in what can only be explained as a spatial fissure. It's only visible to those with a connection to the Quake Engine, and the others are completely unaware of this unusual situation. Here, Japan is ruled by the Hagane family, or the Yakuza League, and in an unexpected twist, it's revealed that the Yakuza League members are the former Justice League heroes. Everyone from Green Lantern to Aquaman, Flash, and Superman have gone rogue in this universe, and only Wonder Woman, aka the Ego Goddess Diana, has not turned evil. She's opposed to the Hagane family, and Batman and his allies end up in a conflict conflict that is as outlandish as it sounds. This is a very interesting aspect of the movie, as it delves into a domain that has always intrigued the fans. What will happen if the Justice League goes astray, and how will the Bat family handle the crisis? We've seen several versions of something similar happening, and now we're into the anime fusion of this idea. In fact, this is the first time that fans can witness the entire Bat family up against the Justice League, with only Wonder Woman fighting for the right cause. We've already spoken about how Batman and the others have trained in ninja gimmicks, and they have retained their skills in this movie, which results in some mouth-watering contests. After getting a grip on the situation, Batman decides to travel through the fissure in order to set things right. He realizes that he needs to recover the Quake Engine, and Damian, aka Robin, follows him as the others stay behind to protect Gotham City. When Batman and Robin finally arrive through the fissure, they end up in a super advanced and futuristic Japan, which has been overrun by Yakuza members. The Justice League counterparts, like Zeshika, the Emerald Ray, or the Green Lantern, and Asa, the Aqua Dragon, or Aquaman, attack them immediately. They are the meta-human protectors of the Hagane family, and they use their powers to serve them. Diana saves Batman and Robin, and it's revealed that she's part of an all-female group of the Amazon family. They live by a strict moral and ethical code called the Ninkyo Code, and this includes basic philosophies like never harming the innocent and fighting for what's right. Even Harley Quinn has become part of this group after becoming part of this reality. Meanwhile, Gotham City has to deal with another brutal attack when the evil version of Flash, Fleetfoot Body, moves through the fissure and attacks the city. He's forced to return to his reality after a feisty fight back from the likes of Nightwing, Red Hood, and Red Robin. We get further information about his reality, and it's revealed that there has been a brutal infighting among various Yakuza families, and only 3 major ones have survived in the aftermath. The Hagane family is the most powerful, while the Domuzu family is a close second, and Diana's Amazon family is the only force opposing their tyrannical regime. Also, guess who the leader of the Hagane family is? It's none other than the Yakuza version of Superman, the evil Kuraku, the Man of Steel. Here, he's not the all-good Superman and believes that the right to rule belongs to the one with power. Gotham City, which is a part of Batman's reality, can be seen through the fissure from this version of Japan, and Diana refers to Gotham City as the land in the sky. The Hagane family intends to control this land, that they refer to Amatsukuni, and they've been sending their forces through the fissure to exert control. However, it soon becomes clear that there's more to Batman's trip to feudal Japan. Batman believes that someone planned the creation of this reality for a greater purpose, and with time, it all comes out in the open. On an immediate basis, Batman heads back to his own reality to work alongside his team and defeat the evil Yakuza family. Diana offers her help in fixing the damaged Batplane, and she also appreciates Batman's code of honor, which somewhat aligns with her own. Just as Batman and Robin are about to head back, they're stopped by the superhuman enforcers of this reality. It turns out that the Oyabun of the Hagane family, Ra's al Ghul, has been pulling the strings all along. He has controlled and manipulated the reality, as well as the metahuman protectors of this realm from the shadows. There's another unexpected moment in the film, when Joker and Robin, who have arrived in this reality, save the life of Batman. But the reasons for the Joker's strange savior act is never explained. Harley is attacked by Kuraku, but Diana manages to save her just in time. Finally, we get to know the details of Ra's al Ghul's master plan. After he found out about Grodd and his Quake Engine, he took an interest in the machine and modified it into a device that's capable of shifting space-time and can overlap multiple realities. This allowed him to create a new universe of his own, and all the bizarre experiments, like a situation where the last son of Krypton is raised by Japanese Yakuza, are all his brainchild. His actions ensured that the Justice League from the original reality went missing in the space-time continuum. The ultimate plan of Ra's al Ghul is to use his created reality to fight the one he originally belongs to. Now he wants his grandson Damian to take his legacy forward, but the spirited young boy refuses.
What?
How do Batman and the Bat family set things right? The climactic moments of the movie are as dramatic as they are packed with action. For starters, Batman sets up a force alongside the likes of Dick, Jason, Alfred, and Tim, and Alfred has already modified their Bat vehicles, which now look like machines from the mecha anime genre. They all plan to fight the Yakuza League members, but in the other reality, Diana is faced with a severe challenge. She's taken down by Asa and Zeshika, who do not shy away from adopting unfair means to defeat her. They also capture the other warriors of the clan and force Diana to surrender. Just in time, Batman and Nightwing head to this reality to save Diana, and they put up quite a memorable fight together. Batman and Diana make quick work of Asa, while Nightwing faces Zeshika using his decoy armor. On the other hand, Jason and Tim manage to stop the Speed Force vortex that's being used by Ra's al Ghul to send fighters to the original reality. Now that most of the Yakuza League is taken out of the fight, Kuraku steps in, and it's an epic showdown between him and Batman. Meanwhile, the others try to access the Quake Engine in Hagane Tower, so that the sinister sinister plan of Ra's al Ghul can be foiled. The final Batman vs Superman fight is going to be worth your time, and it's fun to watch Batman use red solar energy to immobilize the Kryptonian. All the while, Batman also tries to convince the evil version of Superman about his heroic counterpart and how he has been manipulated to support the purpose of Ra's al Ghul. When sweet talking doesn't work, Batman uses a kryptonite knuckle duster to knock out the evil Superman, and mentions how it was given to him by Clark, just in case he ever went rogue. It's still far from a happy ending because the reality needs to be sorted, and Ra's tries to play a last hand by deactivating the energy modulator of the Quake Engine. Batman and the others are still able to access the machine, and they stop the multiple realities from colliding. All the evil Yakuza superhero counterparts learn about their honorable original versions, and they're so inspired that they even stop a last attempt by Ra's to disrupt the reality. Finally, the original reality is back to its old self, and Batman has the original Justice League back.
Arkham Castle, rise!
What is the Quake Engine? The machine behind all the mess. One of Gorilla Grodd's unknown powers turns out to be a machine that is the key to all that happens in the Batman Ninja franchise. This is basically a time displacement machine that needs to be powered, and during a fight with Grodd, Batman ends up being transported to a whole different reality altogether. Of course, a lot of things about the machine have been given enough plot armor to suit the case, but it's an interesting addition to Grodd's brilliance and technological prowess, even though Ra's al Ghul clearly had some contributions as well. Marvelous verdict, a fascinating wild ride that you cannot take seriously. As we've said for the earlier movie, you can't take such ideas seriously because the absurdity of it all is quite evident. The new release is just as fun to watch as its predecessor, even if the plot doesn't make much sense. We love the references to DC mythos and Japanese culture and history. The visual brilliance is unquestionable, and even the voiceover work is quite impressive. There's a glimmer of Japanese mecha anime, and the title songs anime fans fondly remember. And from the promising effort to create this sequel, we don't rule out multiple versions of the Batman Ninja franchise going forward. Do let us know in the comment section below about your thoughts on the Batman Ninja franchise, and also tell us what you'd like to see in the next movie of the franchise.
And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone!